Like, you've had women throw themselves at you. Obviously, being the president of Quest Nutrition, there's a lot of fitness people that try to get your attention. All right, question from YouTube from Salima Haji. Do you believe trust should be earned or given and then confirmed once your relationship grows?
Oh, wow. So I think you have to, that's interesting. So here's the reality. It's like micro distrust followed by a give of trust, followed by earning that trust to keep it. So what I mean by that is on a first date, like, I don't even know the person. So it's not that I'm leading with some Herculean amount of trust, but I'm a totally optimistic person. I think that most humans are good. They want good things for other people. Also, I believe myself to be an insanely good judge of character. So for the most part, like, if somebody has that part to their personality, I'm going to see it. So if I get unease, in fact, if you want to, what?
You're talking about the gut instinct?
No, I wasn't. I mean, sure, but not in the way that I think, given your obsession, like, with the actual gut. I think you were going somewhere. But do you have like an interesting point about that?
Oh, I mean, just the stats that you told me that our gut has like 100 million, is it 100 million?
Yeah.
100 million neurons.
You get different numbers. It's the size of a cat brain. They call it the second brain.
Guys, hang on. Your gut has the amount of neurons that a cat brain does.
Yeah.
So when they say gut intuition, like, trust your gut. So no. Sorry,
truth.
I just found that
No, I
fascinating.
mean, look, and this is the first one I didn't say. I had like you said something about wound healing, and I was about to go into this whole thing, which I talked to Bob Hariri about this. God, every time I spend time with that guy, his mind. So I won't derail us because I was so hesitant. I was so good about not the first time. So yeah, I don't remember exactly where I was going, but so getting back to the whole notion of trust, It's like, I think people are good. I think that for the most part, like, if you can judge character, you can protect yourself from the egregious things. This is where I was going. There's a reason that you're the only person that I've ever said I love you to. And that's because, like, I could feel those little, nuances in a personality of, either I can't trust them, or honestly, this is really, as I think back, that the other person was going through things in their life that just made it not a good time for them. So it wasn't that they weren't incredible people, and hopefully they've gone on to have just amazing, amazing relationships. But at the time I was encountering them, while they were an intriguing person, they weren't in a place where they could be open, unguarded, that they would want to disclose things that might lead to bad behavior or whatever the case may be. And when I say that, I mean that when you're able to really be unguarded, to have a level of self-acceptance, not judging yourself, wanting to be taken as you are, not trying to paint some idealized picture, but saying, like, I'm going to be aggressively myself. And that was certainly how I approached the relationship with you. And that was very reciprocated. And so in all of that, given where we both were in our lives, because I didn't feel like you were overly trying to be someone or position yourself, like you were just being yourself, it felt like, well, I can either accept her or not accept her, but I didn't have to guess at who her was. So that was amazing. And because of that, then it's like, well, this is who I am, this is who you are. And now, so the trust was both assumed. I just vibing with you thought, okay, this chick is pretty interesting. She seems real. She's not positioning herself. This isn't a marketing effort on her part. It wasn't that you didn't put your best foot forward, but it didn't feel like a PR campaign. And then as we went, it was on that basis of being aggressively ourselves. And then that's just held, right? And then the knowing that any lie, any cover up is going to be felt internally on my side. So it doesn't matter whether you ever find out about it or not. What matters is, how does it make me feel? Does it make me feel distance from the relationship? Because if it makes me feel distance from the relationship, then that's not interesting for me. So, and that's one of those things, like, I'm not saying that people should be honest just for the objective sake that honesty is better. I think that the reason honesty is better is because of the way that it makes you feel and the way that it opens up for real connection. So all of that is a way to say it starts with, I don't know you, so I'm being honest, like, about that sure, if on that first date I got a weird vibe, then I'm just going to put you to the side and not have date 2, or if it happens at date 2, not date 3. And then I am going to presume that you're worthy of trust. And then it's up to you to really earn that over time.
Yeah. And I think everything stacks up, right? It's like little building bricks. So it's not like you go into...
It's almost like it's
brick by brick. Yeah, that actually wasn't even planned. But yes, it's brick by brick, like, but really. Because I think every moment, like even when you're saying about personal achievements, right? You really are put to the test, right? It's easier to say, this is what I'll do, or for you, right? This is how I'm going to act. If I got sick, I'm always going to power through it. But it's very different on the day you actually get super sick, fever. How do you actually act? And so for me, it's about the actions. So everyone may have like the most authentic, heart and be like, oh no, I'm not going to cheat on you, or I'm not going to lie to you. They may have every ounce of like belief in that. But when it comes down to it, how do they actually act? So I absolutely put 100%, not 99.9, 100% trust in you, right? So I could walk in on you. There could be a naked woman in the room, and I'll just assume she surprised you and you were sleeping and you happened to wake up and she was in your room, because I trust you that much. But it's because you've built that trust brick by brick by brick over the entire 17 years that we've met, or that we've known each other. So it's not like that happened overnight and now I'm blinded by, just who you are. It's like, no, I've seen you act in accordance to your belief system every single day, in every scenario, right? Like, you've had women throw themselves at you. Obviously, being the president of Quest Nutrition, there's a lot of fitness people that try to get your attention. And it never bothered me, because I would just see that you really do live up to your reputation, where you are very professional. That doesn't faze you. You don't, ever like start oogling at them, or whatever the word is, ogling. And so anyways, like, yeah, over the last 17 years, you've just proven to me that I can trust you. But it's not like I would go into a relationship being like, oh, they're never going to cheat on me, or they're never going to like betray me, or I would be very cautious. But like what you said,
Yeah, but you weren't weird about it. And so I do want to make sure that people understand that. It's not like and I guess back then we didn't really have text messaging, but I never felt like it was some Herculean task to get you to trust me. You know what I mean? Because that would have sucked.
But I didn't give myself over to you in day one. So it's like, let's say after the first month, I was really, really into you. But if all of a sudden you cheated on me after the first month, it would have hurt. But I'm like, well, learn next time.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, that's still true now. So
right, of course. But I'm just saying,
a little more emotional than
I'm just saying that now that I guess trust has definitely gotten stronger over the years. And when there are moments where we've been in fights, right? Where have you ever used anything ever that I've said to you with, what's the word? With no self-confidence. Like, if I've ever told you any of my weaknesses, have you ever brought that up in a fight, right? Because it could have been very easy. You could have dug at me. You could have absolutely have gotten that little sting out of me, that thing that you may have wanted, but you've never done that. You've never brought up something in the past. You've never brought up things that I'm insecure about in a fight. And I think in those moments where you could easily have done it and you didn't, again, that's another brick in the fact that I can trust you and trust who you are and trust what you're going to do with information and sensitivity that I give you, which then allows me to give myself over to you 100%.